Hello everyone and welcome back to another chess this week. It has been a long time and I really apologize for that. It has been a busy month after traveling with Arjun to the European Club Cup at almost last minute notice. I was also busy recording for my upcoming Chessable course, which is about to release at any moment now. Take a guess at what topic it might be on and leave it in the comments. But while I've been away, the Hans-Magnus controversy hasn't seemed to have slowed down at all. And to get you up to speed, FIDE has formed a 3-member investigatory committee that will take a while for the results to come out. And on the other side, chess.com also published a report in which they found Hans is alleged to have likely cheated in more than 100 online games, including prize money events. He was also allegedly streaming in 25 of those games. Now, Hans didn't respond for a while until he came up with the mother of all lawsuits in the chess world, announcing it on his Twitter, inimitable Hans' style. Hans is suing Magnus Carlsen, the Play Magnus Group, Chess.com, Danny Rensch, Hikaru Nakamura for what it seems like $400 million. In the meanwhile, Hans also played in the US Chess Championship. He had a bad start but finished off quite decently, including a bit of a controversial game against Sam Sevian. Sam almost decapitating Hans's king, but it turns out to be a harmless event, and the US Chess Championship was won by Fabiano Caruana with an excellent performance. Meanwhile, Magnus played in the AIM Chess Rapid, which was part of the Meltwater Champion Chess Tour, which was also a quite eventful tournament. First, Arjun defeated Magnus. He got his revenge and was even tweeted by Ashwin. Almost immediately the next day, Gukesh defeated Magnus as well. This caused quite a bit of sensation in the Indian chess scene. We had 3 Indians playing in the quarterfinals: Arjun, Vidit and Gukesh. And it was quite an interesting match between Magnus and Arjun. Arjun was winning in the first game. Magnus defended like his life was at stake, and Arjun couldn't finish it off, and he could never come back from the disappointment in that match, losing 2.5. Vidit also lost against Duda, who is playing some amazing chess. He defeated Magnus in the semi-final and is leading in the final now, having won the first set. At the time of this recording, Duda is playing in the final against Shakhriyar Mamadiyaro, who has also played some amazing chess leading up to the final. And Gukesh lost against Richard Rapport in a thrilling quarterfinal encounter, which went all the way till the blitz tie breaks. Gukesh was unable to defend a rook and bishop endgame against the rook. Now, moving on to some of the other events in the chess world and catching up quickly. The Women's Grand Prix, which is an important tournament in the cycle for the Women's World Championship, was won by Grandmaster Katrina Lagno after her last round draw against Vaishali. Vaishali also played quite creditably, scoring 5 points out of 11. And since the Olympiad, the team members of both the teams have been winning tournaments after another. First, in the European Club Cup, it was Novibor, consisting of Vidit, Harikrishna and other members, which won the tournament. Vidit led the way, scoring 6 out of 6 with a stunning performance. Vidit lost the last round against Esipenko, but by then the team had already all but won the event. And for Harikrishna, his team won the Polish League, the Spanish League, and now the European Club Cup. 3 tournament wins in a row. And there was an earlier Fagernes Open tournament in Norway this year, which was won by Shashi Kiran. But in the autumn event, which happened recently, this was won by SL Narayanan, who played splendidly, scoring 7 points out of 9. Abhimanyu Puranik also tied for the first place, but finished 3rd overall. And Setu also had a creditable performance, beating Krug with the black pieces and showing that there is still some hope for people aged over 20 to play chess, and finished in the top 5. It's not just the India 1 members who have been winning tournaments after another. It was not just Vidit, Harikrishna and SL Narayanan, but the India 2 members as well. Raunak winning the La Nucia tournament in Spain, gaining quite a few rating points. A splendid comeback by Raunak after having a bit of topsy-turvy performances since the Olympiad. And Nihal Sarin scored an amazing 2.5 win over the World Championship challenger Ding Lijian. This was perhaps one of the most unexpected results in the Chess.com Global Championship, Nihal wrapping up the match in just 3 games. Teimur Rajabov also won with a similar scoreline against another World Championship challenger, Jan Nepomniachtchi, and both these players were the final entrants into the quarterfinal of the Chess.com Global Championship, expected to take place in Toronto in the first week of November. That caps off the performance of the fabulous 5 juniors in the recent weeks: Nihal, Prag, Arjun, Gukesh and Raunak. Now moving on to even younger juniors, V Pranav was exceptional in the past few weeks. He multitasked. First, he played in the online event, the Magnus Academy Challenge, and won with an amazing score of 38 out of 42, earning his place in the challenge's final 4. The winner of this Final 4 will play a match against Prague in December. And not only did he win this event, but he also played over the board for India in the World Under 16 Olympiad, winning gold medal on board 1. India finished 5th overall and Turkey Red won this event. Tanisha also deserves a shout out. She won the bronze medal for India, and India's list of juniors keeps growing impressively. And it's not just the juniors, but Mr. Commonwealth Abhijit Gupta also won Bikaner Open. And moving on to the ongoing events, the World Junior Championship is going on. Now this used to be quite a prestigious event at one point, but now with 16-year-olds becoming 2700s and being so close to the World Championship cycle, the tournament is not as prestigious as it once was, with only one player above 2600 playing in the open section, Andrei Yasipenko. At the end of 9 rounds, Adam Kosak is leading with 7.5 points, and in the women's section, 2 players are leading with 7 out of 9. But this tournament hit the headlines for completely different reasons. Priyanka Notaki, one of India's most promising juniors, had an extremely unfortunate incident when she forgot to take the earbuds out of her jacket, and this cost her not only the game in the 6th round, which she had won, but she was also expelled from the tournament according to the tournament regulations. It is an extremely unfortunate event, but Priyanka has accepted it in her stride and has put out a statement announcing that she will come back stronger from this. And a host of events coming up in the last week of October, including the women's candidates, where Koneru Hampi will be playing against Anna Muzichuk in the quarterfinals, and Maria Muzichuk will play against Lei Tinge. This will be in Monaco, and the Fisher Random World Championship will also take place in Iceland in this last week, featuring Magnus Carlsen, Hikaru Nakamura. This will also be a quarterfinal event. 8 players knockout, and the defending champion Wesley So will also feature in this event. We also have the comedians on board and the ChessBase India Deathmatch 2.0 coming up in November. The COB will happen in November 4, and the deathmatch will feature Arjun and Gukesh this time. That's this episode of Chess This Week. If you like this episode, then do hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and see you all next week.